it's Megan, and I feel weird checking on here now because it's been so long since I've done this. It's been like a crazy summer, but I have time, and when I have time, I'm trying to check in. So you kind of know how my summer's gone because I haven't been around that much, and here I am, and I'm, chopping vegetables and making tacos, but I've got a little bit of time here, which is a really nice change. So I wanted to see how everybody was doing and kind of let you know what's going on with me. So here we are. It is like already the end of July, and I have this stack of things over here because I'm getting ready to start thinking about putting on my teacher hat again. So look at I have all of my binders, and I'm lesson planning and thinking about how the school year is going to be. But I have had this incredible summer of coaching, and I've loved it. It's been fantastic. I've been doing tons of one-on-one coaching, and I've done anxiety camp, and we only have one more week, and I can't believe the whole summer is done with anxiety camp already. The fastest 8 weeks ever. And in the middle of this, I've had life, right? Because my kids have been home, and we've done fun things, and not as many fun things as I thought we would do, but we've done fun things, and we've had a really great summer, and I feel like it's winding down already, which it's kind of a bummer from a mom standpoint and from a teacher standpoint, because I like being home, guys. I like it a lot. But I wanted to let you know what happened last week with me, because I think it was really, really important. And I think it's important for you guys to know from an anxiety standpoint. So I feel like I need to share this with you. And so that you can see what, in terms of, if you know my story, if you don't know it, I'll just probably tell it to you again anyway. But if you know my story, you know that my life has had a lot of anxiety in it from the time I was a little kid. And if you don't know my story, I just kind of told it to you. From the time I was 8 years old, and it gradually increased. But I have been really super low anxiety for quite a few years now, 5 years, which is an eternity for me. No panic attacks, no nothing. And I'm this is so awesome. Here I am doing this. I'm coaching people and teaching people what I do so that they don't have to have anxiety attacks, which is awesome. And then at the beginning of July, we went to Michigan, and my dog got sick, which was totally weird because she was fine, and then she just wasn't. And I mean, she got really super sick, you guys. So I had her over at Knives. If you don't live in Indiana, Knives is the Northeast Indiana Vet Hospital. And it's emergency hospital, right? So I'm taking my dogs to my local vet, and then I'm taking them to Knives because those are doggy specialists. I've never been there because I am an amateur pet mom. Good with kids, sort of good with dogs, but not great. I love this dog, right? So she gets really sick. She starts peeing in her sleep, and she's drinking a ton of water, and I'm Googling, which was always a bad choice with anxiety. So anyways, to make a really, really long story short, I have a lot of good stories out of this too. To make a really long story short, I ended up taking her to my local vet, and then I ended up taking her to the emergency vet. And then I ended up taking her back to my local vet. And then I take her back to the emergency vet, trying to figure out what's going on. And in the meantime, I'm absolutely convinced she's going to die, right? She was super sick. But you can maybe hear her pause, so she's not dead, which is awesome. Because there was a lot of crying at my house. Not just me, but my kids. And it was rough, guys. It was really rough. And this is all leading into a story, I swear it really is, that has to do with anxiety. So I'm there with Ryan, my oldest son. He's 21, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with our dog. And nobody knows, and nobody can tell us anything. So we're guessing at all the things we can guess out. Check this, check that, check this. And in my head, I'm dollar signs are floating through my eyeballs, an episode of cartoons like Richie Rich, where the dollar signs that go past his eyeballs, but in a bad way. So I start getting really anxious because my dog is sick, and it's costing me a lot of money, and no one can answer me. So we're throwing spaghetti at the wall, and I can feel my anxiety going up. I can feel I can feel the things I hadn't felt in years. So I start noticing that I'm like, whew, oh, I don't feel good. And I start having these thoughts, these ridiculous thoughts that have nothing to do with my dog. Nothing to do with my dog at all. And suddenly I'm like feeling in my leg. I'm like, oh yeah, that bump, that's still there. It's probably cancer. Yeah, I'm dying. I am dying. This has been here. It's there. And in the meantime, I'm like, wait a minute, hold the phone. This has been here for 20 years. Why am I just like, now I'm nervous and I'm going back to, why am I going back to this? And I'm going to tell you why right now, okay? My anxious friends, I want you to listen to me. Old habits die hard, okay? Old habits die hard. Is this new? No, it's been there forever. I mean, I would be dead by now. Do I know there's nothing wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me. But when my anxiety kicked in over my dog and over other situations in life, just like that, I went back to my old habits. I'm feeling my leg. I'm like, I gotta call my dad. I gotta call my dad and I gotta call my mom and tell them what's going on and make sure they think that's okay. And maybe I should check it again. Maybe I should measure it. Maybe I should measure it and mark it on my leg. These are my thoughts. And I'm working myself up. But here we go. There's a pause. And somewhere in the middle of this, I'm like, this isn't about you. This isn't about this stupid thing on your leg. This is a habit. This is a habit that has come right back like that. It's sort of like if you're a smoker and you get stressed out and you haven't smoked in 5 years and something bad happens and suddenly you want a cigarette. It is the same thing. So guess what I didn't do? I didn't panic. And I told myself the truth. And I was like, Megan, that isn't a thing. That is not what you're worried about. So I backed myself out of the situation and I'm super proud of myself. Like, good job. I'm in the vet's office, yeah, I'm feeling like hell and I'm gonna get through this. And I did. I never called my dad. I never called my mom. I never measured the stupid thing in my leg. I never had a panic attack. And I felt anxious. And it was okay because anxiety is just a feeling. It's not the truth. And in the past, I would have spiraled down and I would have ended up in a puddle on the floor. And instead, I was able to hear what the doctor was saying about my dog and not lose it over my leg. Did I feel good? No, I felt terrible. I'm worried about my dog. Suddenly I'm worried about something that's been there for 20 years, but I let it go. And you can do that. So if you feel like you are struggling and you are stuck in the same stupid pattern of thought, it is okay. I have not had this thought in years and it came back just like that. But this time I caught it. And this time I had different skills and a different mindset and a different ability to challenge that thought. And it stopped. Now, okay, so that was it was like a week ago, a week and a half ago, something like that. Time is completely irrelevant to me this summer. And the last month, I don't even know what happened to July. I have no idea that we're always like, oh my God, it's July 28th. Oh God, it's July 28th. It's already the end of July, all right? I went to Michigan back at July 10th or something, 8th. It's been a long 20 days, y'all. So the point that I was trying to make when I got sidetracked there is that these habits, they get stuck in your head. And just because they come back doesn't mean they're true. The thoughts aren't true. The scary stuff's not true. It's just freaking scary. And we create these habits that we go back to because they're meant to keep us safe. And if I can't keep my dog safe, maybe I can keep myself safe, even though I wasn't in danger. All right? So here's some good news. My dog, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's still drinking a ton of water and peeing when she sleeps, but she looks so much better. She's good. And as for me and this thing in my leg, it's just a thing. It's like a fleeting thought. All right? These are the skills that you can learn. These are the things that you can learn for yourself and that you can teach your kids. And you can learn to let anxious thoughts go. All right? And there was a trigger there. All right? There was a definite trigger. It had something to do with, I don't know, the original trigger. I don't even know where the original thought came from. But it was weird because I went back a couple days later to pick up some antibiotics because we're throwing spaghetti at the wall to figure out what's wrong with my dog. And I literally got out of my car and walked back into Knives to pick up this medicine for Georgia. And I got like 3 steps out of my car, hadn't thought about my previous scary thought since the last time I was there, and boom, came back just like that. So now I know that when I go to the vet hospital, I'll probably always think about this weird fatty lump thing I have in my leg, which is fine. Because now I know that I'll be like, oh, I'm probably gonna think about that again, and I can stop it. All right? So these are the things that I want you to be aware of. That thoughts are just thoughts. They're not real. They're just something that float through our heads, and you don't have to entertain them. You do not have to entertain these thoughts. All right? I know that's hard, and I know you may be thinking, Megan, you are full on psychotic right now because I can't stop them. And I feel that, okay? Because I lived like that for a really long time, and it doesn't happen in 5 minutes, but it will. It will, I promise, all right? I just wanted you to know that if you're still struggling, it's not just you, okay? It's a thing, and you just have to learn how to handle it. And when you learn that, and when you make new habits, when you start making new habits so that you don't have to still feel that way, that's when things change, all right? That's when things change, and that's when you can start feeling better, and when you can start saying, you know what? I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of it. That's powerful, and that is taking charge, and that is controlling your anxiety so it doesn't control you, all right? That was 2 weeks. That was my email from 2 weeks ago. That's how much I haven't been on, and I swear I'm not ignoring you because I love you. I've had a lot going on lately. Like I said, lots of individual coaching, lots of really fun 10,000 Swords stuff, and a lot of other fun things too. My daughter went to a state swim meet last weekend, which was really super awesome, and her relay totally killed it. I mean, these 4 girls, it was like magic. And you guys, sometimes I miss swim coaching so much because that was so fun to watch. Like, it was awesome. I mean, I've had... My youngest son turned 15 last week. We had a birthday party for him. We went up with my whole entire family to Michigan and hung out with them. We've had a lot of good times this summer, and I've learned a lot. I've learned so much about how to make a business and how my thoughts produce my reality. And that, by the way, is compliments of my fantastic coach, Kelly Youngman. And I'm just going to say that if you need a coach for business purposes or for, okay, so honestly, she's a Broadway performer, and I hired her as a business coach, and she is like, holy crap. So Kelly is a mindset and business coach and a Broadway performer coach. So if you have a person in your life who is looking to be on Broadway, she coaches those people. So I feel like my coach is famous. So I don't even know if Kelly's in this group, but now I'm going to tag her. Anyways, so this is some really cool stuff that I learned from my coach about mindset and about perception and about really challenging what I'm thinking of myself. And I've been bringing that to my own coaching, which has been really fantastic. And it's just been great. Anyways, I wanted to check in. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday evening. I hope you will leave me some comments and questions. I hope you will tag your friends. I hope that you will click the link and schedule a consult, because if you are still feeling anxious, stop it. You don't have to feel that way. And whether you contact me or you contact another anxiety coach or you contact a therapist, whatever you've got to do, stop it right now. I just slapped an onion. Stop. You don't have to feel that way. All right? I'm here. Lots of people are here to help you. All right? You can schedule a consult anytime. If you don't want to click the little calendar link, you can just, if you're local, you can just find me at Bruja or text me if you have my number. If you're not, click it. Pick a time. It's like 45 minutes to an hour. We just talk about what you want and what coaching might look like in your life. All right? I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening, and I will check in as soon as I can. Once I get back into the classroom, my life will be very regimented again. But right now, it's loosey-goosey, and I'm digging it. It's good. All right, I'll see you guys later.